video, we'll try to answer the question, what is living? You may tell, really? Should we watch this video to answer such a simple question, that is, what is living? We already know the answer. The one which shows the characteristics of living organisms are the living one. Then what are the characteristics of living organisms? Growth, reproduction, movement are the characteristics of living organism. If this is your answer, then I will tell you are wrong, because there are many living organisms which does not show this character, and there are many non-living things which shows this character. That's why growth, movement, reproduction cannot taken as a unique or defining characters of a living organism. Then what is living? To know the answer, watch this video till the end. Living organism shows varieties of character, or there are many characters that the living organism shows. Out of that, some of the important character includes growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization and consciousness. We'll discuss this character one by one. First one is growth. What do you mean by growth? According to definition, growth means permanent increase in the mass or size or number of cell over a period. So if there is an increase in the mass of an individual, or increase in the size of an individual, or if there is increase in the number of cell, then you can tell that that individual is growing. So all organism will grow, and you know that growth takes place because of cell division. So inside the body there will be continuous cell division, because of which growth takes place. Even the plants and all animals shows growth. In the case of plant, growth takes place throughout the life of that particular plant. In the case of most of the animal, growth takes place only up to certain age. After that, from outside or physical growth will not be there. But within the body, some of the cell undergo continuous cell division to replace the dead or the damaged cells. Anyhow, all organisms shows growth. But one thing you have to note here, some of the non-living objects like mountain, rocks, sand mounds also grow. In this non-living object, growth takes place because of deposition of some material or substances from outside. So in the non-living object, growth takes place externally. But in the case of living organism, growth takes place from within or internally. Anyhow, even these non-living objects also grow, or they shows the characteristics of growth. That's why you can't take growth as a defining or exclusive or unique characteristics of the living organism. So that is about the growth. Next character is reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? Reproduction is a production of young one, offspring, progeny or the children. Organisms reproduce either by sexually or asexually. Most of the organisms reproduce by sexual method, and some of the organisms like fungi, they reproduce by asexual method. In the lower organism, they also reproduce by some of the method like budding, binary fission, fragmentation, etc. And in the case of unicellular organism, they reproduce by simple cell division. But there are many organisms which do not reproduce. For example, sterile worker bee, infertile human being, mule are some of the examples. So these organisms do not reproduce. It doesn't mean that they are non-living. Obviously they are living, but they do not reproduce, or they do not show these characteristics. That's why even reproduction cannot take as a defining or exclusive characteristics of the living organism. Next characteristic is metabolism. Metabolism means what? It is a sum total of all chemical reaction that is taking place within the body. And you know that our body have n number of biomolecules like carbohydrate, fat, protein, nucleic acid, fatty acids, etc. So there are n number of biomolecules within our body, and these biomolecules undergo continuous reactions either to produce a new compound, or some of the compounds will be broken down into simpler form. Such reactions are called as metabolic reactions. So there are thousands of such metabolic reactions taking place within our body simultaneously. So these metabolic reactions taking place within the cell or within our body, and these reactions can be seen in all organisms, whether it may be higher organism or in the case of plant or even in the case of unicellular organism. These metabolic reactions are present and it is not there in the non-living object. So within the non-living object, there is no such chemical reaction or metabolic reaction taking place. That's why you can take metabolism as a unique or exclusive or defining characteristics of the living organism. Next characteristics is cellular organization. As I already told, thousands of metabolic reaction taking place within our body, and specifically this metabolic reaction takes place inside each cell, and these reactions are distributed among the different organelles. Like some of the reactions takes place inside the chloroplast, some of the metabolic reaction takes place inside the mitochondria, some of the reaction takes place in the cytoplasm. So these metabolic reactions are distributed among the different organelles inside the cell, finally to perform all functions of the life. So such distribution of metabolic reactions among the organelle or such arrangement of the different organelles within the cell to perform all functions of the life is nothing but the cellular organization. So cellular organization means the component or different organelles that makes up the cell and how they are organized within it. So that is nothing but the cellular organization, and you can see cellular organization in all organisms, whether it may be animal or plant or even in the unicellular organism. You can see cellular organization or distribution of different work among the different organelles to perform all functions of the life is seen in all organisms, and it is absent in the non-living things. So you can't see cell or different cell organelles in the non-living things. So that's why you can tell that cellular organization is a unique or defining or exclusive characteristics of the living organisms. Next characteristics is consciousness. What do you mean by consciousness? It is awareness of internal and external stimuli and responding to these stimuli. You all know that all organisms will sense the external stimuli and it will respond to that external stimuli. So we the human being responds to the external stimuli with the help of sense organs. In the case of plant, even they sense the external stimuli like temperature, light, water, touch, etc. So both external and internal stimuli will be sensed by all organisms and we are responding to that stimuli. So external stimuli are like light, temperature, water, touch, etc. And the internal stimuli like hunger, pain, thirsty, emotions, tiredness, thoughts, etc. So these are the internal stimuli. Even we respond to the internal stimuli. For example, if we are thirsty, we drink water. So that is nothing but the responding to the internal stimuli. So all organism responds to both internal and external stimuli. That is nothing but the consciousness. So what about the patient laying in the coma in the hospital? They are not responding to any external stimuli like touch, or they won't talk, they won't recognize the family members or friends, they won't eat. So they are not responding to the external stimuli. So are they dead or are they non-living? No, because though they are not responding to the external stimuli, the body is responding to the medicine or the injection or the therapies that they are undergoing. So the body is responding to the medicine and the body is recovering accordingly. That's why the body is responding to the medicine or some of the internal stimuli. That's why they are living, they are not non-living. So that is about the consciousness, and consciousness is not there in the non-living object, or non-living object will not sense the stimuli and it does not respond to that stimuli. That's why consciousness is one of the defining characteristics of the living organisms. So from this discussion, now you can tell what is living, or you can give the definition of living organisms. So living organisms are nothing but the organism which shows metabolism, cellular organization, and which will respond to the external or internal stimuli. So they are called as living organisms. I hope this video will be useful. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.